I received an email recently, and I have to tell you guys this has to be one of the most inspirational emails that you can use. The student had a bit of a difficult life, and he was also growing up in difficult circumstances, was working a lot, and then afterwards still has dreams of studying abroad, doing something, and had some questions. So I'm going to go to the email, and there are some questions here that I will answer, which are also going to be relevant for you. That is about the percentages, and with what percentage you can study in a public university, with what percentage in a private university, and so on. So all of those details I'm going to share in this video now. The email goes, "Sir, my name is Parbat and I'm from a small rural district of Nepal called Kalikot. It is a very hard situation here, so normally people of this area don't teach their kids, and there are no schools in my village. There's one school which teaches up to class 5. So primary school they have. My parents are illiterate, but they have in mind our son should study. So we moved to Bhaktapur, near capital city of Nepal, Kathmandu, where I completed my school level education. Now, this is the most important mindset that you can have, and the same mindset my grandparents had. So my father, he's a professor, no? And my grandparents, they were also illiterate. They couldn't read or write, but they had an important principle, and that was we have to make sure that we couldn't study, but that our children study and they have some kind of opportunities for themselves. And who would have known that just because they would send their son to school, he's going to end up being a professor in some university and go to different kind of conferences, travel the world and give speeches, things like that. All of this I find extremely positive, and all of that starts with the parents. So if the parents have the right mindset, and the mindset is हमें फर्क नहीं पड़ता बस हमारा बच्चा पढ़ना चाहिए, that is good enough for you to do something, because of course they cannot come to your school and they cannot help you with your scores and stuff. That is some place where you have to prove yourself, but at least the push that you have to go to a school, that is extremely important, and that is something which I find very notable here. That's very, very nice. Sir, I passed my SLC in 2017 with 3.0 GPA, and I passed my plus 2 in 2019 with 2.27 GPA, and currently I'm in a final year in BBS, Bachelor in Business Studies, and I'm guessing that my score will be under 50%. I work at Bricks Clins factory 14 hours a day since age of 16, and I've never gone to college. I just do admissions and study myself and give exams. So looks like this is a correspondence study, and he's working in a Brixlin factory, which is very hard. Like if you ever visited a Brixlin, I did. It's in my village. There's one small one, and it's a very, very hard job. Like this is not something that you want to be doing, especially when you want to, study and do these things. Because I have worked hard to support my family after 2015 massive earthquake lost our homes and everything. Now we are living in a small cottage. So, like I told you, like this is a very difficult email, but like also very inspirational at the same time, that this person is still like researching on YouTube about studying in Germany, studying abroad, things like that. What are the best ways of doing it? What are the most cost affordable ways of doing it? And still, like, having the mindset to write an email so that he can get the right information. I find that extremely positive, and this is also the reason why I wanted to take out the time to kind of explain what would be the best course of action in this scenario. Because if you think about it, like right now, the financial situation is very difficult. Also, like losing your house and stuff, any kind of like collateral or something that you could put for loans, like that is also not really existing right now. My all friends left college and went to Malaysia, Saudi, and Qatar to work as labor, but I was forcing myself to finish my degree, and I never really care about my grade. I just wanted to pass, because in my college more than 70% students got failed in 2 to 3 subjects. Those who passed like me are low grades between 40 to 60%. So he means like first rank got 59% second year. So we all just want to pass an exam, but now I heard that Germany doesn't take students who have very low grades. This is where I wanted to actually show you. So that's why we have these master admit profiles of every single year since 2016. So almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll have the latest one also coming out for 2023. And we build these masters admit profiles as all reports, so that you can download them and you can see like, what is the scenario. The link for that I will also put in the description, so you can download this PDF for free, where we have a summary of how everything is, and you can keep an eye out for yourself. So we have the first one from 2020, then 2021 and 2022, and we have around, let's say, 204 or like 150 on an average we have responses. Now what I want to do is like go to the bachelor score section and show you what is this percentage that generally students get admission with. So for this I am going to do sorting, and I'm going to sort it by the bachelor score, and that kind of screws everything up, but we just want to see like what are the lowest scores here. If I really think about the lowest scores, like I see like one score with 5.65 CGPA, 5.99 CGPA, these 3.75 and 3.22, I'm pretty sure these are a different way of like scoring. But from what I can tell you from my experience is generally like, you know, the lowest ones that we have seen are with like 5.65, 5.99, I think 50% is like already like very important. 60%, so 58% I see again the lowest here. And now 2022 we can also see real quick 7.4, 66% I see. Like you see here, like, you know, around 50%, like 55% is the lowest that you can really go with. Below that it gets extremely difficult, because also at 50% you are kind of edging towards the area of private universities. So above 60%, 65%, it gets a little bit easier. You go towards public universities, but below 65% and above 50%, that's like the private university region that you are generally looking at, right? So if I think about it, like it's already going to be like a little bit difficult if this student can manage to go further towards 60%, 65%, that would be easier for him to get to Germany. After realizing that I cannot enter my master's with my grades, me and my friends who also have same grades like me heard about Ausbildung too, for which we have to crack 3 German exams, A1, A2 and B1, and after passing B1 HSCs. Now again, how does he know this? He knows this from some kind of consultant where he went to. And remember this guy, like, you know, that's why I really find that many of the consultants who are sitting in India and opening their shops, like they just do not give a shit if the person is in a hardship, if he has a difficult situation, or if he's like very well off. They make absolutely no differentiation there whatsoever. If they want to scam you, they're going to scam you. What I mean by scam is at least like letting them know that what are the places they can save money on. Rupees 15,000 for classes, 6,000 for A1 exam, 17,000 for classes, 6,500 for A2 exam, 17,000 for classes, and 7,000 for B1 exam. Now, if I think about the exams, I do not have the Goethe exam costs like open with me, but I can imagine it's somewhere around this. But if I would be this person, if I would be this consultant, I would have told the student that you don't need to write the A1 exam and A2 exam. Why do you need to write the exams? Because you can directly write the B1 exam. So at least you save this 13,500. And also, if you think about like learning German, like here this is like one level for A1 is like 15,000 Indian rupees, and here at Big Academy we have like A1, A2 and B1 together for 15,000, and A1, A2, B1 courses together, they have exam preparation included. They're made together with the native German speaker, my wife Alina, and we build these courses together, and students have very, very positive experiences from that. So if you want to like avoid the costs further, because you're working in a Brooklyn, you don't have so much money, and you want to make sure that your money is being invested in the right places. So then you will find something like super cheap. Like even here, if you can learn something from YouTube, you can make some kind of lessons from YouTube itself. Why not? Just see what kind of things you can find for free, how you can use them. Books, I'm a strong proponent of. Books is something you should absolutely buy, or at least like have with you so that you can practice there. If you don't have a book, if you're not using a book, and if you're not using a notebook, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to practice and put something in your brain, right? So that's what I believe. And I think for YouTube also you can find like some decent like courses for A1 or something, but then there is nothing for A2 and B1. So this is something that you also have to think about. when we built the courses, we were seeing the exact same problem from students, because they were like, yeah, like A1 is very nice, but there are still these kind of things missing. This is not covered from the book. It is not done according to the syllabus. So that's when we decided, okay, like when we make the faster German courses, I'm going to do everything with syllabus of the A1, A2, and B1. And you can also check out the free course for the faster German courses below in the description. We made a main framework to give you the idea how to learn German and so on. That course is completely for free. After doing all that, we have to pay, how much is it? How many zeros is it? 350. So 350,000 for consultancy to find Ausbildung job provider. Now again, very important for people who want to do Ausbildung. Look guys, you don't have to go to a consultant in order to apply for Ausbildung. When you want to apply for Ausbildung, you essentially just need two things. You need your 12th certificate and you need your German language proficiency. There also, if you can apply with B2, it becomes very easy. So this is the thing which I find very positive about Germany. That is, most of the times, almost every single time, you do not need a middleman to do something. This is something I find extremely positive. In India, if you want to do anything, you always need some kind of middleman to make things easy or something. In Germany, you almost never need a middleman in order to do something. If you want to get some government procedure done, if you want to go out and fill some forms, things like that, everything is very simple and clear cut. And anytime you have any kind of questions or something, you can call them and you can ask them. So Ausbildung providers, there are a lot of websites for Ausbildung. I'm going to link a few websites also below. One of the biggest sites, for example, is Ausbildung.de. Here you can find different kind of Ausbildung, where you can type inside the profession and then you can see what kind of jobs are available in that area. Then you have Bundesagentur für Arbeit. Again, they also have a portal where they essentially explain everything that you want to do a Ausbildung, so how this is going to work out. The problem comes that most of the students, they don't get access to this kind of information because they didn't learn German. That means they're not searching with German keywords. And the problem comes that you don't end up getting to the right websites. Here also you have an English version, but what happens with English version is many times complete pages are gone. So you will not find some pages which would be available in German. You will not find some paragraphs which are available in German. And this is not the direct Google Translate does. Like, they generally make separate versions for it. So that's why I believe that when you are going into this direction, it's very important to learn German. Once you learn German, like, finding an Ausbildung is super easy. For example, here, no? If I want to maybe do a Beruf as Mechatroniker, no? So I will just click on Stellen finden and look at this. You have 3,509 free vocational training places. And many of the larger ones are very happy to actually also teach you the things. They always, of course, pay you because you're also working. And they are also supportive in helping you with the entire visa situation. So you just have to go ahead and use your email, right? Just like the student did now. Like, he wrote me an email. It costed him absolutely nothing. Maybe his data, whatever he was using for watching YouTube videos about Germany, things like that. So like, it did not cost him anything extra. He just sent an email and he gave his problems. He gave his issues. And if I am really, really, like, motivated, and if I'm really passionate, and if I just want to leave the situation I'm in, I will have absolutely no problem sending an email 3,509 times. I would send an email to every single one of them, separate emails, and then I'm going to see how exactly the situation is, where they can help me with the visa, where they cannot, and then I would, like, narrow down to the companies I would apply to. So I would really do this, like, because with Ausbildung, the positive thing is that if you have like poor scores and stuff, you can still go ahead and you can do the Ausbildung at least. Most of the companies, they don't really mind the scores as long as you're willing to work. I told them that I heard Ausbildung is for free. They say there's nothing free in the world. Of course, there's nothing free in the world when you go to a roadside consultant. They have to book flight tickets and make everything documents, prepare all everything. Like, okay, flight ticket, how much is a flight ticket one side? A flight ticket one side is like maybe 40,000 Indian rupees, 50,000 Indian rupees maximum. It's not like 50,000. So that doesn't help. And booking a flight ticket you can also do on your own. Like that's nothing dramatic. Even like how to fill out the visa forms, things like that. Everything can be done like once you just go through the document and you see, and when you have questions, like, you know, you approach people who have gone through the process. Then one of my friend told me that you run online classes, the fees are relatively cheaper than here. So I come here, sir, please answer me the questions. Can we do masters with under 50% public universities? Okay. So like I said, my experience is that if you want to study in in public universities, the minimum score you should really bring is around 65%. Below 65%, it gets very difficult to study in a public university. You can still maybe study in a public university, but in a paid program, because in the paid program, you do not have that much competition, right? The second option comes private universities. So these are both the options which are not really relevant for Parbat right now, because he does not have a strong financial background at the moment. So we skip those ideas. So the second one is going to be how to do Ausbildung, and can we do Ausbildung and bank clerk with this marks. So like I said, most of the companies, they're happy to find somebody who is motivated to work. Maybe a few things I would do here is push further with the German proficiency a little bit. It is extremely important to be good in at least one language. What I see here is that the English is fine, but like English is something which can still be improved here with the punctuations, the grammatical errors and things like that. And I'm just saying this so I can help you, because nobody else is going to tell you this. Because like English is also something that you can improve, but I feel like improving English is going to be a lot more difficult, because this is something that you've already learned. Like the mistakes that you make, things like that, that's completely ingrained. So that is going to take maybe a little bit longer time than actually learning German, actually learning a completely new language and learning it properly, so that you don't make mistakes there. Sir, will you help us find Ausbildung sponsors after passing B1? So not B1, but like after B2, it becomes easier. Like that is something that I can really recommend. But like, you know, that is not a problem for us. Like I made courses about studying and finding jobs and teaching German, and Ausbildung is also not a problem at all. Like that is also something I can help you guys with if you really need support there. How can we join your language classes, and how much is the total cost for all three courses? A1, A2, B1. So A1 to B1, if you join with the bundle, and like I said, it already has exam preparation included, and you have lifetime access to the courses. It has one bundle costs like 15,000 Indian rupees. So that is extremely cheap when you compare it with just one level costing 15,000 Indian rupees. And they're asking you to write the exam too for every single level. Here you have to simply write the exam like after you're done with everything. You can also go from A1 to B2. We also have those bundles available directly on the academy. How it works is like we have recorded lessons which you can get access to as soon as you enroll in the course. And this we find very practical, because many times there are students who have their own different schedules. And now every single time during the day, you're putting out 1.5 hours or something in a very inconvenient time, and you cannot really be flexible anymore. That becomes a little bit painful in the longer stretch, because language learning doesn't happen in a day. It happens over multiple weeks and months. So if it is inconvenient for you, the chances are very high that you're going to just drop it. So it has to be convenient, it has to be flexible, and that's why we found that when we made these online courses, it was actually pretty helpful, and students were also giving very good responses there. If yes, then I will join your classes. We are 6 friends. We are interested to join your classes if you will help us find sponsors in the Ausbildung program. So like I said, Ausbildung is not a dramatic thing at all. Most of the times you get information from companies and people directly by writing emails to them. Now, there is a way to write emails. This is something I explained to you guys in the job course, how to find jobs in Germany. What is the title supposed to be, how the email is supposed to be, how you're supposed to write in bullet points, what kind of things are supposed to be covered, because you don't want to make the email too long that the person doesn't read it, and you don't want to make it too short that the person thinks you're not serious, right? That's the sweet spot that you have to see. The second part comes, which I've always told you in every single video, that is, if you want to get a response from a German company, write an email in German. Because if you send an email in English, most of the times they feel uncomfortable, or maybe the person who is actually responding to the emails, they are not very good with English, so they end up not responding. If you want to get a response from a German company, extremely important to use German for communication. These are some very important tips that I shared in this video. If you want to go through and watch them again and note them down, do it, because this is going to really make your life easier, and you're going to definitely find ways to progress further in your career, progress further with your dream. Because you saw here, like, Purbat didn't have an easy life, doesn't have an easy life right now, but there's still ways that people can keep on pushing, and they can keep on finding new ways of finding solutions, because in the end, that's what you're doing. You have to find solutions to things. So, and anytime you have any kind of questions, problems whatsoever, I'm very happy to make a similar video like I did right now. You just have to send me an email at parth@parthengermany.com, and then I get back to you. If you want to check out the free courses, free PDFs, things like that, the links for all of that you will find in the description. Like I said, this Faster German Framework program, this course you can directly enroll with the link in the description. I'll see you in the next video.